got Arnold and Bruce in it in a way that made sense, and even Mickey and Eric Roberts and.
Yeah, I mean he pulled in a lot of favors.
Apollo was the only one missing.
And, guys, you got how much you got to pay Bruce Willis or Arnold, but they did that for free as a favor to him, which is so cool. I mean, this doesn't happen anymore today,
right?
And that's really cool. I think the whole friendship, buddies who do something together that he created was people like that because I hadn't seen it for a while. It was like everything is.
It was kind of the new version of the '80s, good '80s Stallone action movie.
Yeah.
What happened to your arc was a really part that a lot of audience really liked,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, people actually come up and say that, which is kind of cool.
But then, in the Expendables 2, the '80s formula is that you probably take a bullet for Jet Li.
Yeah, I might kill that guy.
Yeah. Is it true that he approached Van Damme and Seagal also?
Yeah, I believe he did. I don't know all the details. I just know Jean-Claude didn't want to do it for some reason. I think because Jet Li was going to kill him or something like that. And he didn't like that. I didn't really care. I thought it was a good role.
Yeah.
And I don't know about Seagal, but look,
well, he was in Machete too. So.
Yeah. He got killed by De Niro. I don't know if that's any better, but I think in the sequel though, a few of those people would be back.
Acting background. I mean, I'd imagine you mostly learned on the job, but did you take a crash course when suddenly these big things happen? With some teachers in New York.
Well, I did study in New York when I started. Did a little theater and stuff when I first started. Then I got caught up in doing bad movies for a while. Same story, different theme with a character kind of thing, and you kind of get stale. You kind of. But I did study. Like when I do apply that knowledge, technique to it, it kind of works, and it's kind of fun now. I like that, and I know that the way to do it is to really do your homework. Because if you do your homework, you just have to put the camera on an actor who's done his homework, and you can see straight away. You just see it, and if you haven't done your homework, whether you're, Robert De Niro, whoever it is, it does. You still feel it. So it takes. You gotta commit yourself.
But it seems to me like you've always been that kind of guy that tries to do the best of a lot of people until they see your resume. You've been leads in your movies, every year and a half or so since Rocky, basically.
Yeah.
So you've been doing your own thing and creating your own opportunities.
Well, I have. That's correct. Yes, I have actually, and I suppose my what is it? My destiny is to take the long road, and suffer, as most Lutherans up in Sweden. But I heard Clint Eastwood also said sometime I interviewed him. He said, they asked him what was the best advice to a young director, and he said, keep playing your own game. And I think that he's there's another guy who was my age in 1983. You know what I mean? He was my age in 1983. I hadn't even gotten in business yet.
Right.
And all the stuff that he's gone through, say starting from where I am now up to today, it's amazing. His career. So you can see how, if that would have ended back then, he wouldn't have, it wouldn't have been the same thing.
Right.
So persistence is a very important factor, really. And I guess I have a lot of that.
Has quitting or retirement ever crossed your mind?
Yeah, sure. I think about it every day almost because, show business is a very tough business, and you always know there's another world out there where you can downsize your life, not subject yourself to a lot of stress and rejection and having to work your ass off, and in my case be away from my family, and you can live a quiet life on on an island in the Caribbean and walk around in swim trunks and go work out every day and not have to do shit, but it's not for me. I would probably go nuts after 3 weeks, so I can't do that, but I think about it. But I don't think I think I'll keep it up for a while longer. Sure. Now, especially, it's exciting because I have a few new things going on.
But the sports background, because you seems like you always get up early and work out. And you do your karate and kickboxing once in a while, right? Or boxing.
Yeah.
That sort of has been the foundation of you keeping healthy and again, like you said, get back up again.
I agree. Yes, I think so. Sports, my sports is something I would always do. Staying healthy is important to me. I would do it whether I'm in the business or not, but it certainly has helped me, the discipline and staying sane, I guess. And if you look at people like Stallone and Clint Eastwood, even he's in great shape too. Clint's in great shape. He's 80 years old. Sly is 64. I mean, he's in great shape now. I was just with him in Japan, and he walks around in a t-shirt in the plane, and you're like, shit, the guy's looking freaking better now than he did, 20 years ago. And it doesn't come for free. I mean, you got to work out. So,
has your workout and diet and stuff changed over the years?
Yes, I've gone through different, I've tried everything, different variations of it. As a matter of fact, I'm working on a fitness book right now.
Right.
So I just did photography for it. I'm writing right now, working on the text. It's autobiographical and has workouts in it.
Right.
It's changed quite a bit, and I guess what I've done is I've tried a lot of things, and I've gone to more extreme, versions of something, and now I'm sort of honed it down to something that's very practical, and I can do it 15 minutes a day, or I can do it 50 minutes a day, or 2 hours a day, or I can do it just once a week or 5 times a week. But I know how to keep the balance so that the result is there. I don't like to overdo it. I have a lot of other things to do in my life. I don't want to spend all day in the gym.
Well, because it's work related, like when you're an action star for a decade or decade and a half, or like Stallone and Arnold, it's work related. So some movies you gotta be bigger.
Yeah.
So therefore you gotta
lift more weights.
Heavy. Yeah.
That's true.
Also, as you're trying to cross back over to more cop roles and stuff, you gotta smooth out a little bit more, right?
Yeah, a little bit.
And lighten up a little bit.
My main thing is sometimes I do more karate because I have a 3rd-degree black belt, and I like to get, my 4th next year. I got my 3rd degrees 13 years ago. Now my goal is to be Shihan. Shihan is a teacher. And that's 5th dan. So I did in mathematics, like if I keep it at this pace, I will be Shihan when I'm 75.
Wow.
And I thought that was a bit late. So I figured I could just speed it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So now I got to do my 4th dan next year, maybe get my 5th dan the year after or something like that. I would love to do that.
Right.
So when I do more karate, it gets slimmer because it's all about fighting and doing kata, and it's not so much about having muscles. Like a lot of fighters are fairly thin,
Right.
but they move really well.
Right.
But if you're doing the Expendables and you're standing next to, Steve Austin or something like that, or who's got arms the size of your legs, then you got to do some weights to make sure you don't, you look pretty good next to him.
Right.
So that's the difference.
Yeah, but you got the frame though.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's easy for me.
I mean, Jet Li really does look smaller.
Well, he is small. That's the problem. Well, he's a good fighter, but he's smaller.
Yeah. Working with Jet in your fight scenes, was it easier because he's done that? He does that. I mean, he does that stuff regularly. Because choreography in your movies, I'm sure, is a long process and very precise.
It is long and it's very precise. I mean, the good thing about Jet is that he is so experienced. What he doesn't like to rehearse. So he has one of his doubles rehearse, and he'll just sit there and watch.
He's probably like a choreographer, just like Jackie Chan himself.
Yeah, he'll watch it, and then he'll come in and do it right away. And the camera's rolling, like 15 moves out of nowhere. So it puts a lot of pressure on the other guy, meaning me, to have my shit together. So it's always nice to work with an actor where you can fight the actor and not the double. So say with like Jean-Claude Van Damme or Stallone or Jet is very, very good. So it was a pleasure working with him, really.
I've seen footage of you doing choreography on your other movies. You're very into the prep work that way. How much time do you spend on all that?
Because I fight in real life, I like to spar, and I'm not that fascinated by fight choreography because I like to do the real thing, but I know it's part of a movie, and I know that I feel like if you're a big guy on screen, it's always more powerful to try to do big things, to throw the guy through the wall. Something that's almost comedic. Like you punch the guy once and he's out.
Yeah.
But so I suppose I'm trying to keep my personality a little bit in the fight, for me, to make it realistic. You know, I think a typical example is like Clint in Gran Torino, which is like, you know, the guy is 79 years old and he's beaten up on these young kids. But it was just, the guy just grabbed him by the head and threw him down, and he was just like punching him in the head the way it would be in real life, kicking him, punching him, and I thought that was kind of cool.
Right.
And people aren't used to that, and it's like, holy shit. They're used to like everybody throwing all these fancy kicks and crap that you never would use in real life because it doesn't work.
And the trend now is that even the guys like Donnie Yen, who got, you know, amazing kung fu moves, but even he's in his cop movies, even he's doing like the MMA holds and stuff. Yeah. Because that's like the, you know, the
newest thing.
Yeah. You know,
even some of those holds, I know that's also going to go because it's great. You know, MMA is great, but if you're in a bar fight, you can't crawl around on the ground for longer than 15 seconds. The guy's buddy's going to pick up a chair and hit you over the head with it. You know, like that's how it is. Or somebody's going to pull you apart. So I mean, some of that is good, but you know.